Today, Saturday, April 25th, the church honors the feast of the Evangelist, St. Mark, whose gospel was the earliest and shortest of the four gospels. Yet, this gospel especially influenced the gospel of St. Matthew. Mark was a native of the Jerusalem area, and while not an apostle himself, was close in the early years of Christianity to both Peter and Paul. He accompanied St. Paul and Barnabas in their initial major evangelization mission to Cyprus. And he also was close to St. Peter. In fact, one commentator has termed him to be almost like an interpreter of Peter, because in his gospel there is very much an influence of Peter. In any event, his writing of the first gospel, sometime around the year 70, mark him as a decisive influence on the subsequent development of Christianity. Here we find that the authority of the message of Jesus was in his paradoxical identity as both a suffering and crucified Messiah. And here Mark's story of Jesus is gradually revealed, in a sense, as a handbook of discipleship. And this is certainly very recognized in our own time. Robert Ellsberg, in his overview of the saints, states, quote, "Mark's readers must write their own conclusion to Jesus' story by taking up the cross of discipleship and going forth to meet him for themselves," unquote. According to tradition, St. Mark brought the Christian faith to Egypt and was the first bishop of Alexandria, where he is said to have been martyred during the reign of Nero. Some centuries later, in the 9th century, his body was brought by merchants to Venice to prevent possible desecration by invading Arabs. And as we well know, in Venice, the cathedral contains the relics as well as mosaics of his life and death. Depicted as a lion, Mark is the patron saint of Venice and also Egypt. Here at St. Matthew's, Mark's image towers along with the other three evangelists and the pendants over the front part of the church. His corner is not far from the cathedral, which is the Archbishop's seat. And here in the Archdiocese also, we have near the University of Maryland a beautiful church dedicated to him. St. Mark, like other saints, can sometimes bring back memories, not just simply of the role that a patron saint, the individual, may have played in our lives, but also of those named after him or her who have been very important in our lives. And so, for example, if you know a Mark today, why not give a call and say, "Happy Feast Day." Say, "Mark, pray for us."